from. So you have two options. If it's of no benefit to you, you drop it. Or you have to benefit from it. So or you drop it or you benefit from it. You will benefit from it if you find what is it that is being terrified. Obviously, what is being terrified is me. And this me is bouclier. How do you say in English? In the old days, they used to fight with the swords and the shield. The shield. Yeah. So the me that is being terrified is a shield. It's a shield. So because of the shield, then you're not experiencing the terror. You're experiencing your resistance to the terror. And so because you are resisting the terror, then you're not experiencing the fullness of the terror, and therefore you're not experiencing the freedom from the terror, because the full experience of the terror, in the full experience of the terror is the freedom from it. So you have to modify a little bit your I don't like it. You have to embrace it. Not just like embrace it, meaning like, okay, oh yeah, I'm suffering, I'm feeling the terror, and I'm resigning myself to it. No. What is it that is suffering? What is it that is being terrorized? If you contemplate that, you will find just a bunch of thoughts. But you will feel the terror. The fact that you're finding thoughts, meaning thoughts are being terrified. Because when you ask yourself, what is it that's being terrified? You're going to come to me, right? I'm being terrified. And what is this me? What is this me that's being terrified? It's some thoughts, some images, some ideas. You have ideas about what you are. Because when you don't have ideas about what you are, right? If you don't have any ideas about what you are, and you ask yourself, what is this me? I have no ideas, just nothing, But because you have ideas about what you are, then you say, I'm being terrified. And you say, what is this I? You find there are ideas. And now think about it. Ideas are being terrified. Because if you are those ideas, then it's ideas being terrified. Who cares about ideas being terrified? You follow? I mean, but the thing is, you can go there and realize this is a joke. I'm taking myself to be this girl, this woman, this mother, this and that. There's all ideas, thoughts, images. They're defining me supposedly, but they're images. And that's what's being terrified. You can go there. It's not that complicated. 1 or 2 satsangs and you get it. But you will still feel. You still feel, the heart is beating, whatever. Right? Suffocating. You will feel. Now the feeling is what's a little bit more closer to home. Feeling. Now then you can contemplate the feeling and say, okay, let me look at it. I'm feeling terror, meaning what? Let's go there. Let's say you're feeling terror right now. Okay?
I usually cry.
Okay.
Or I can't breathe.
So, okay, we need to breathe. So, if we can breathe, then we open our shoulders. We open our shoulders, we relax our belly. We turn our attention to the breath. Okay. Slow exhalation. Slow inhalation. So we need to breathe, absolutely. The body needs to breathe. So if I'm unable to breathe, or there's a shortness of breath, I'll take a minute. The terror is still there. Can we just wait a minute? Let me just turn my attention to the breath. And you, slow exhalation, slow inhalation, relax your belly, open your shoulders, open your chest, and open your entire front part of your body. Just open it. And open your belly completely. So you're just completely open for the breath, yes?
Now I'm getting the image that always scares me, which is the image of space. It's like
Image of space. Okay. So there is a black image that's appearing.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
So there's a black image, and there must be more than the black image, because if I put my hands on my eyes, there's a black image, and I'm not scared. So there's more than just a black image. There must be something more than the black image, because the black image doesn't scare us. So there must be something like what's going to happen to me, or there must be something else.
Just being in space, just not knowing, being stranded in space.
Okay.
Not being contained, that scares me a little bit.
Okay.
Being, like, limitless, I don't like that feeling. Kind of feeling like the earth has dropped out from under me.
Okay. So it sounds to me there are a lot of I don't like in your there are a lot of things you don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't like being suspended in space. You don't like not being contained. You don't like. So there's a lot of you don't likes. Okay, well, why don't you like your don't likes? Like them. I don't like. Right now, imagine yourself here in space, because we are in space. I mean, this whole planet, Earth is in space, right? It's space. Okay, fine. There is gravity, so this body, these atoms are like dancing around here, and it's like there's some sort of impression of solidity, but it's all happening in space. Yes, and you're okay. I mean, hey folks, we're in space, right? We're in space, okay? let's accept that. Like it or not, we're in space, and we're okay, all right? We're okay. So we're okay to be in space, because and within us there is space, right? There is the womb, but there's space for the baby. In your lungs, there is space for air. In your veins, there's space everywhere. There's between the atoms and the molecules in your body, there is space. Because if there was no space, you'll be contracted to a drop you won't even see you. There's a lot of space. Right now, I tell you are a lot of space. So, what do you mean you don't like it? I don't understand why you don't like it. It's just you've been in space all along, and you've been in space all along. We all have, right? In fact, we could say that we are space. We are more space than we are a man or a woman. And really, if you ask any scientist, says, yeah, they probably will tell you you're 85% space. I mean, they're wrong. We're actually 100% space, but they'll say 85. We'll take 85. We're not going to have a scientific debate. So 85% space. That's a lot of space, right?
And we don't even know what's inside the proton and the neutron.
It's a lot of space. Believe me, it's a lot of space. They say there's a proton, and they're looking for the proton. They haven't even found it yet. But it's a lot. The more they go into it, the more they find space. Yeah. It's a space journey. It's a space trip. But the thing is, we're okay about it in a way, because our atoms, they love space, because they're dancing. They are space. It's all space. So then there is this idea that I am an object in space. And oh my God, what's happening to me in this infinite space? Follow me, there's an idea, a thought, that I am an object in space. And there are other objects around, and my God, I hope that I'm going to be okay in this infinite space. That is very scary. To be an object in space is a bad dream. But to be space is not a bad dream. Because space is not going anywhere. The object in space is like, oh my God, you see?
Yeah,
So that
confusing.
yeah, right. So what's really what you don't like is not the space, is to be an object in space. But you're not an object in space. You are space. The thought that says, I am an object in space, is made out of space. The feeling, you can go right now to feeling. A feeling, any feeling, is made out of body sensation. It's a sensation. Sensation. You can go to the sensation of your back against the chair. The sensation is 99.9% space. Allow it to be. Don't name it anything. Where is it? Where does it start? Where does it end? What's its shape? What is its form? What is its... Space, spaciousness is our most intimate and fundamental experience. The thought that I'm some object, some form, is so convincing, but the thought itself is made out of 99.99% space. Space, which is thought, is convincing us that we are not space. It's a joke. You follow? The thought itself is space. And it's whispering, oh, you are some object. You are born, and what's going to happen? You're lost in space.
What were you saying?
You are lost in space. It's whispering to you, you are lost in space. But the thought itself is 100% space. We laugh at it. Really, you should be laughing.
Yeah.
You should be it's all a joke. It's a cosmic joke. It's a cosmic joke. The terror is not rooted in the fear of space. It's rooted in the belief that I am some form in space, lost in space. What's going to happen to me, lost in space? That's why I'm afraid of space, because I'm an object lost in space. But you're not. You are space. You've always been space. We are the space of awareness, the space of beingness, the space of consciousness. It's a spacious, borderless happiness and freedom. Space and happiness are synonymous. Space and peace. You know, like when we make war, we crowd each other, and when we make peace, we lay back and there's more space. Okay, well, of course, we like to get together, smoke something, eat something, drink something, but it's still in the spirit of spaciousness, right?
Yeah, totally true. My daughter, she wants space. If I'm
Yeah.
there's no peace.
Yes.
I just back off.
Yeah. Space, and then she loves to come and huddle, yeah, because of the spaciousness of love. You see, love is very spacious. It's embracing. It's embracing. Yes.
I've been learning from this that when everything happens in awareness, that even getting through a contraction is just seeing it and just kind of sitting with it and letting it just eventually dissolve.
Yes. Because presence is a relaxed openness. So you are with the contraction in your not knowingness, in your openness, and in your open invitation. It's like there are no borders. It's like, okay, here I am, I can experience that in the openness, yes. I don't need to understand it. I don't need to fix it. I don't need to figure it out. It's not a problem.
It's kind of so it, as a practical matter in day-to-day life, you're living with lots of contractions. You're not even noticing them, but then it kind of raises a question like, well, why go there to begin with, or at least see what's happening. Yes. Just let it flow through.
Yes.
Yeah.
The more you let it flow through, the more you're like approaching it with your openness, with your relaxation. You will find in time that the less it appears, and the less it's less intense. If it appears, it's smaller peaks, and because it loves the resistance, and that's how it is.
I can see how I feed it. I'm making it. Yeah, I can see that. That's that awareness yields.
Yes, right. When it sees the resistance, it says, okay, let me go there again, because there I can play. But when it's just it's completely open, it arises and says, hello, and it just gets lost in the space.
I mean, it just gets to the whole point that this notion that you have some kind of a mission and you're programming yourself to do this or do that, it's mostly just a bunch of jive. I mean, you're just not paying attention to what's real.
Yeah. I think we should go with the new mission of no missions. New mission is just like play and enjoy and celebrate and love each other and like in the 60s, we should be flower children.
Without this.
I'll
bring the bomb next time.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that was a metaphor for what we're talking about. I mean, it's sort of pointing to that, but it's not exactly self-evident that a culture will just embrace this thing and they'll, transform everybody. It's just a moment in time. A culture goes a certain way. It's a sort of metaphor, and it didn't mean people could sustain anything. They didn't really obtain higher consciousness.
All is well. It's unfolding just as it needs to be, and it's inviting us to recognize the wholeness of being that we are, the openness of being that we are. Is there effortlessly. It's effortlessly so. All is well. Everything appears and disappears. I remain unmoved, untouched as that. So is it. So it is. That recognition.
You live with this passionate conviction about that, and every time you say it, I see that it is true.
It's not a conviction. It's
something.
It's a reality. This is the reality. Yes.
I was just thinking. I heard from, I think it's perhaps Buddhism that talks about if you are identifying with the body, that there's a flow through body. It just it comes from wherever it comes. It may linger, then just flowing through.
Flow through. It flows through. You can say flowing through consciousness. In fact, it's like, say, a wave is flowing through the ocean. Like a wave is flowing through the ocean, or a current is flowing through the ocean, but the current is intimate with the ocean. There's nothing flowing through the ocean. It's the ocean itself we say current is flowing through the ocean, but there is nothing
But ultimately it's all ocean.
Flowing through the ocean. It's all the ocean. The ocean isn't diminished or augmented, hurt or benefits from the current. It's just a current. It's like a dream. You dreamt that you were flying over Mount Kilimanjaro last night. Beautiful. no loss, no gain. But it's a sweet dream. Must have been a beautiful view to be looking down, from above at the mountain. Very beautiful view. But we don't need to dream that something is happening to me. Oh my God, what's happening to me? A tiger is chasing me. That's an unhappy dream. And this unhappy dream is because we take ourselves to be an object in space. Oh my God, where am I going? Like the meteorite. I'm a meteorite in space. Where am I going to crash? That's the unhappy dream. All the fears, all the concerns, all the worries are about this object in time and space. But you're not an object in space. You are this borderless presence. You are the love, you're the beauty, you're the joy, you're the heart, you're the breath, the vastness of being.
So, she's talking about this fear of space, and you're talking about busyness and stuff like that. And a place where I run into fear a lot, that it's hard for me to find a way to practice is when I'm with people, actually. And I can feel it coming now. It comes up a lot of times when I try to talk here. But I'm reflecting now, and it's pretty long-standing. But when I'm with people, there's always fear.
The fear.
Fear of how I'll be perceived.
Yes.
Fear of I'll say the right thing.
Yes.
Yes. The social anxiety.
Yes.
And it's also a time where I find it a bit hard to practice or find a stable ground, because sometimes that feels disconnected, or you start acting even more awkward.
Yes, I understand.
So,
yeah.
On that subject.
Yeah. Somebody minds are very sensitive, and they pick up. There is a mass ignorance, people judging each other, and all sorts of comparison and stories, and it's unhappy. And there are some body minds that are very sensitive to that. They really pick it up right away. They just fall in that role. You know what I mean? It's like, it's out of love. You're experiencing what you're experiencing out of a deep love. It's your deep love for humanity, for the joy, for the freedom, for the love that's making you picking all that up, and just everybody's, the entire burden of being judged and being a person. How am I speaking the right way? Do I look right? Is my voice, whatever? It can be hysterical. It's hysterical. It's a sensitivity. So there's a tenderness in your heart towards that. There's a tenderness in your heart, and that tenderness is so tender that it just goes there and lives everybody's burden within your own body mind. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
I like to experience the beauty more than the heaviness.
Yes, I understand. Now for the beauty, you can't love your person and experience love and beauty. When you love your person, there is a large exclusion in your love. Your love has to be so embracing that it embraces also everybody's judgments and everybody's way and everybody's ideas and everybody's habits. It's an openness that is like a complete vulnerability, a vulnerability that is extending itself beyond any limitations, that does not have a personal agenda to it. The love that you want to experience, you cannot experience it as a person. You can only experience it as your wholeness, as the true you. And the true you is the true me. Is the true I, the true me, the true self. The true you is the true everyone. The true you is universal true you, not personal you. Not a woman, not an image, not some shape.
You're talking about consciousness. You're talking about a perception in consciousness that arouses a sense of its.
Yes, because when you look at what am I truly, there's only one place to go, which is the I. You cannot go downstream and say I am, or backstream, I am 6-year-old girl, or I am what I wish to be, or what I'm going to be. When you look at what you are, you don't go to an image. Because in what you are not, if you go to an image, you're going to some object that's appearing, let's say, I'm going to just find a second after. Because before the image, there is the I. The I is imageless. And then there is the image. I'm speaking a relative language, but it's okay. I'm trying to make a point. So the image that we take ourselves to be is not what we are. And it keeps changing. Sometimes we have like a month where we're very loving about ourselves and we have a beautiful image. But then there are times where we feel crappy about ourselves and we have like an awful image. But you want to experience the happiness. You want to experience the freedom and the joy. Which is your perfect right, because this is your birthright. You are that. So you need to realize that you are the source. You are that right now, that formless beingness. It can be touched. You can insult it. It's like trying to cut the sky with a sword. It's like trying to separate space with a wall. It's a joke. You are the I. I'm speaking what you know. Of course, I am I. But this I. This is aware presence. It's a formless aware presence. It's not a story. The me is a story, this and that, and great at this and not too good at that, and this person loves me, I hate this, my neighbor, blah, blah. That's okay, it's a story. But 99% of the stories are complete nonsense. They're like junk. We live with them. We love them. We love them. We keep accumulating junk in our bag. So like, the fact that everybody is doing that doesn't mean you have to do it. No. If everybody is living with bandages on their eyes, you don't need to live with bandages on your eyes. If everybody is living in the cave, you don't need to live in the cave. You can go for a walk. Doesn't matter. The mass hysteria, the judgments, it's their unhappiness. And sometimes we believe, very mistakenly, very erroneously, that our unhappiness will be relieved when we criticize the other. It's so stupid. But again, sometimes it's what people have to do until their suffering becomes unbearable, because there's no way out of your suffering as long as you perceive yourself to be a person, an object in space, like, saying an object in space. Oh my God, I feel terror because I'm an object in space. You're not the object in space, you are the space. Of course, if you're an object in space, you better watch out. You may crash, who knows, some other objects may crash into you. Okay. So the happiness, the peace and the happiness is not an experience. The unhappiness is an experience. The fear is an experience. The anxiety is an experience. Happiness and peace is our natural state. I don't even notice it. But when you ask me, yeah, I'm happy. You're peaceful? Yeah, peaceful. This and that happens? Oh. This and that happens? Oh. Sometimes there's a little tremor. Second later, it's gone. So it's not about seeking an experience. It's about releasing the false, not grasping, not keep on maintaining the false.
It's not about perfecting yourself.
It's not about perfecting yourself.
Fixing the body.
It's relaxing and allowing all what's arising, not holding on, allowing it. Self-judgment is first and then judgment of others. Others judge me because I'm judging myself. When I'm not judging myself, you judge me, I don't even hear you. Like, oh, you think I'm the biggest asshole around. Wow, that's interesting. I'll look it up and I'll Google it to see what it might mean something.
You might have a picture of you.
It might be a picture of yourself. and then I'll edit it. I'll put a better picture, I'll put the one with the, Right.
Well, I saw something on YouTube the other day. I don't know what it had to do with non-duality or somewhere else, but this is things. We have the right to the pursuit of happiness, And it's funny because thinking of objects, the happiness was objects.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize our happiness is not.
Yes.
It's ignorant.
Yes. Yes.
But
Right.
we're taught it from the very beginning.
Sure.
And it's freedom and a right. And so it's made into this conceptual idea.
Yes. Images, a lot of images.
Yeah.
A lot of images.
And a lot of training, that tells you you're feeling bad, so you haven't acquired the object that you need.
Yeah. But all beliefs, we were talking about that earlier, all beliefs are thoughts. And they're made out of space. They're like empty. Well, very beautiful to be with all of you as usual. Very, very lovely. Thank you for your company.